Hello, my name is Vicente Ortega, and I'm going over my MeetUp individual project. The name of this meetup that I went to was Seattle Unity User Group. As you can see, there's a link and a screenshot. The meetup was called Visualizing Game Designs Part 1, located in Seattle, Washington, and it was held via Zoom. Date and time was September 11th, 10 to 11:30 a.m. Presenter was Matthew Evangelist. He has 10 years in the game industry. He ran a sales team for Unity and now is specializing in game design. Discussion. He went over machinations. Machinations is basically used to develop games. There are 12 different objects and each do a different thing and help to make a simulation. And these simulations carry out actions and game mechanics. Some objects are gates, resources, pullers, pull-all, converters, traders, and converters. There are nodes, and essentially they have effects on the objects, and they're somewhat treated like a status effect from a game. Connections can be used for different things in the simulation. Subconnections are state connections, resource connections, and the connections can be used with probability. You can also apply conditions to connections, and you could overwrite those conditions as well. Who I met Tiago Samar D. He was a co-organizer of this event. A question that I asked him was, as someone that has little experience to no experience with coding and game programming use machinations? His answer was, yes, of course. Anyone that has very little knowledge of coding can use machinations to help game developers. What I thought about this meeting, I personally liked it. I thought it was very informative and exciting to see what game developers use to create new game ideas and see how certain game mechanics work. What I learned was how machinations are used to develop games, the different objects that are used, and how each object is used to carry out different actions. I would go again because I found this very exciting to see how the games I play can be broken down into simple objects and how they fundamentally work. I personally will not look for another group. It was very hard for me to look for a group that had a very similar topic that I was interested in. Another group meeting that I went to was IEEE. IEEE is the world's largest technical professional organization dedicated to technology. Every Thursday, they have a meeting at 12:15. Currently, when I went, they held their meetings via Zoom. And the meeting that I went over, or that I went over the agenda, upcoming events, the IEEE Extreme Competition, how much being a membership is, and clothing that members got once they joined, the professional mixer, and different societies within IEEE. Stack Overflow. The question I asked on Stack Overflow was, what is the difference between discrete structures and discrete math? I asked this question since I am currently taking Math 211, which is discrete structures. The answer that I found was that discrete structures is just the constructs for discrete math. Essentially, it's the same thing. It's just the course has a different name. Lastly, GitHub. GitHub is a repository hosting service. Essentially, it's an interface that provides access control, and several collaboration features, such as wiki and basic task management tools. It's served to use for projects or group projects and many other things based upon computing jobs.